The following podcast has been rated R. You've been warned. Welcome to the greatest DC Legends podcast in human history. Well, okay, maybe not, but stick around anyway because we're about to have some fun. You know me, I'm the AB. And along with the All-Stars, we'll talk DCL, superheroes, comic book lore, and everything else in between. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Atlantis After Dark. Hello, and welcome to our humble little podcast. The other day, I picked up a one-legged hitchhiker. I opened the door and told him to hop in. Haha. We have a full show for you guys today, including our 12 Days of Christmas sale, a look at some fun comps, Black Manta, and maybe a bit more. You never know. We have a very special guest today, so you never know what's going to happen on this show. I'll tell you guys what, I'm ready to go already. So are you, so let's not waste any more time. Let's meet today's All-Stars. First up, warming up in the bullpen. He says his love life is like a game of blackjack. He's trying for 21, but he always ends up hitting on 16. It's Biff by Adam West. What's happening, pal?
That's, as a former professional gambler, that is not good odds. 16, not good odds.
Aren't you supposed to hit on 16? I don't know because I would never do it.
It all depends. It really depends on what the dealer has. I was not a big blackjack guy because I used to count cards to a certain extent, not
Sure.
like crazy MIT people, but I used to count cards to a level. And I hated when everyone else told me how to play my hand. So I was mainly a poker player.
Oh, yeah.
And fun fact about Biff, I have been televised 6 different times on, the world, the poker, not World Series of Poker, but the World Poker Tour. I've been on televised events where I've been featured, including me making a final table of a 1,700 person World Poker Tour event.
You need to share that video.
Well, I only finished 5th.
That's still pretty impressive. Wow.
Oh no, yeah. It actually shows up now and again on TV, unlike the ESPN Ocho.
If it's almost a sport, it's on the Ocho. All right.
Exactly.
Welcome back to the show, pal. Glad to have you. Up next, he is the Sorcerer Supreme of cyberspace. His wife told him that during sex you burn as many calories as running 8 miles. He said, well, that's just silly. Who runs 8 miles in 30 seconds? It's Retpmus. What's happening, pal?
I'm just happy to be here. It's just kind of funny because I could have sworn last week you said it was 3 minutes. Now you cut me down to 30 seconds. Damn.
Hey, at least you're getting some.
True.
Oh, we're glad to have you, buddy. Thanks for being on the show today. Welcome again.
Glad to be here.
Let's introduce our special guest, all the way from the DCL CC. The other day, he told me when Miley Cyrus is naked and licks a hammer, it's art and music. But when he does it, he's wasted and has to leave Walmart. Give it up for the clown prince of crime himself, the Joker. Welcome finally to a full episode of the show. Took you a while, but you made it.
Hello. Thanks for having me, guys.
No, thank you for coming on the show. We appreciate it. All right. By the way, do you guys know why Santa doesn't have any children? Because he always wraps his package. And the good news is so does the Atlantis After Dark merch store. Our humble little shop is always stocked and ready to take your order. And holy shit, is it ever easy. Just head over to atlantisafterdark.com and get the latest trends in fashion. Get a jump start on your holiday shopping, or put a bug in someone's ear about how you've been wanting a Slug Force tie-dye BF shirt. Or, if you can wait that long, take advantage of our New Year's weekend sale and get 15% off everything in the store. For more updates on what sales might be coming up, you need to get on our Discord server where you get all the news, all the info, and hey, while you're there, feel free to stop in and say what's up to the All-Stars. Retpmus really likes it when you tag him, so don't miss the opportunity. Anywho.
I'm wearing an All-Star charcoal tee right now, just so you guys know.
Nice. Very nice. I thought about putting on my All-Star shirt, but instead I opted for a rock and roll t-shirt today. I suck.
It's like Kiss.
That's it.
Yeah, I see
That's
the two S's.
Yeah, the old Gene and Paul Ace.
Yep.
The real Kiss, not this fake scab bullshit.
I gotcha.
Ugh.
Did you listen to the Get Together by Youngbloods?
I did. I do know that song. So
Is that not a good song? It's a feel-good song.
It's pretty good. I have to say, I missed it. I haven't heard it in so long. It's not even funny. That's an oldie.
Yes, it is.
Anywho,
I was listening to Rat the other day.
Rat. Good.
Tell me
grief.
that's not good stuff.
Man, that takes me back.
Nothing gets me pumped up by like a little rat wanted man.
Oh God.
You see that meme going around? Kiss fans are just boomer juggalos. Change my mind.
No, I haven't seen that, but now that you say it, it makes a lot of sense.
Just sent it to you.
Oh, let me see. Oh yeah, there it is. And he's got a Paul Stanley star on his face too. I love that shit. God damn. Anywho, check out the new items in stock just for December, only with the original logo, the double AD Santa hats, the fireplace stockings, and the reusable gift bags. They're perfect for stuffing a teddy bear into. So get over there, get over to our website, and get yours today. And with that, all the plugs are out of the way. I say we get into some DCL.
What's that again?
DC Legends. You know, the game that we play that we're supposed to talk about.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you know it. You know it. What a funny guy. Anyways, let's kick this thing off. Since we're talking about spending money, let's talk about how much money we've spent on this 12 Days of Christmas sale. How far are you guys willing to go for Rebirth crystals?
I went 175.
Yeah.
Wow.
Same. I went the three.
Wow.
The second one was easier because the Martian Manhunter shards actually got me to another level.
Sure.
So that one was easier to stomach. My Wonder Girl and my Spectre were both stuck at RB3 no matter what I did.
Right.
But the Martian Manhunter, I was able to get to the next step. That one was easier, but they're just so rare. And where I have my roster now, it's really the only thing I have to look forward to is rebirthing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And we're gonna talk about Black Manta and the fact, and obviously there was no raids this month, which is a great thing, not complaining.
Woohoo.
But just without that 10 rebirth crystals, I had a few things I wanted to accomplish before the new year. So yeah, I went 175 on both.
Yeah.
Nice.
I really wanted to do the Wonder Girl and Spectre, but I already have RB5 Spectre, so it was kind of a waste for me to do that one. So that's why I went with the Aquaman and Martian Manhunter, and that gets me enough to have them both RB3s. So it wasn't that bad of a deal for me. Plus, the extra gems help.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah. What about when they come up with RB6?
No. What was the What's the ultimate level in DC? I forget.
Level
Like, you know how
80?
they have the, you know, like in the comics, they have the Omega level in
Oh.
Marvel. What do they have in DC? Isn't there something equivalent to that, like God level or something? Well, if they come out with that,
don't know.
whatever tier that is, that'll probably be the next thing after Rebirth.
I sent a message to Hate Mail in a panic a few months ago, like 3 hours before the last Batgirl sale was going offline. And I'm like, hey, man, just any rumblings on anything above RB5, because I'm ready to pull a trigger right now. Like, I got another 44,000 gems burning a hole in my pocket that I want to make sure I get every shard of Batgirl I can. And he's like, yeah, no plans. So I backed off.
Joker,
Hey,
how about you, man? Did you
I
get
dropped
any of the
75.
Rebirth crystals?
Yeah, I dropped $75 yesterday. I wanted to take one of the rework tunes for next month up to RB1, so I did that.
Nice.
Get to get ahead of the game.
There you go. Hey, I was able to rebirth Supergirl to RB5.
I seen that.
I love it.
I know.
She's awesome.
She must be beefy at RB5.
I tell you what, almost every red out there
Kill.
almost doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't matter what level red they are. She almost wipes them out one shot with the first beam,
Oh.
not even the second one.
Yes, he's hitting hard.
I know. I really like her.
There goes those Barda Azrael.
Oh,
block
yeah.
comps.
She wipes out
See
Barda
you
like
later.
she's nothing.
I mean,
Dang
my
right.
RB2 Stargirl or Starfire does that. So I can only imagine what RB5 Supergirl does.
Man. I only took my Supergirl to RB3 last night, and I was telling Retpmus, you always have to one-up me. In his case, two-up me on that thing. But I can vouch. RB3 Supergirl is just as, I don't know if she's just as deadly, but I think she's worth every penny of those Rebirth crystals. That's just me talking.
AB, the one place you have Retmus beat is you had a Rebirth before her rework. so
Yeah.
you win there. You had crappy Supergirl Rebirth.
Yes, I did. Crappy Supergirl. Give me a break.
Hey, she used to be part of the meta. Her and
She
Wonder
did.
Woman and Reverse Flash. They wiped the floor back in the day.
I know. It was awesome. It was all the rage, kids.
And when Coke cost a nickel.
Right. We walked uphill both ways, and dag nabbit, we liked it that way. Anyways, we're still looking forward to a few more of those sales. Are we going to get any more opportunities for Rebirth crystals in the next few days? I can't remember.
I don't believe so.
No, I think that's
Don't
it.
believe so, but who knows that if the Advent calendar, I was actually surprised that there was 2 Rebirth crystals early in
That's
that.
right.
So I do hold out hope that maybe there's one more day on the Advent calendar that maybe has 3 or hey shit, I'll take 1. But just anything. But no, to have 2 Rebirth crystals come in the Advent calendar early in the mix.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, there's as Woody will tell you, anything free in this game, there's no reason to complain about it. And the Advent calendar has been a nice thing. It's not always like the biggest gift or anything, but you know what? It's better than kicking the nuts.
Yeah, like what was the last one we got? Like 100 energy.
Yeah.
That almost lets you do the Aqua Girl for free.
Yeah.
Well, that saves me 200 gems
Yeah.
at the end to try to finish my 30 missions or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So you look at what the difference, even just getting 5 blue rings, that's for a bad pull, that saves you 500 gems on the upgrade event. So I'll take anything. That's great. Like Rebirth crystals and blue rings are the only resources in the game I'm short of. So anything you give me that saves me is welcomed. And I was thrilled to see Rebirth crystals in the Advent calendar. I assumed maybe just the last one would have it, but to have it early gives me hope that maybe there's one more.
Definitely.
Can you give us the inside scoop on that, Joker? Or no?
I don't even know what's coming in it. So, yeah.
I'm sure they keep that one pretty close to the
I'm
vest.
sure they do.
I'm hoping
Oh,
for.
I can't wait for the
Victor
red
Stone
rings.
frags for
When's that
everybody.
coming?
What was that?
I can't wait for the red rings. When's that coming to the advent calendar? I only have 12,000 of those saved up.
Didn't we get those on day 2 or day 3?
Oh, I don't know. I might have missed it.
Yeah. Pretty sure that came already.
He's turned a blind eye to
darn it.
everything except rebirth crystals at this point, which I did want to bring up. That Jonathan Crane bit from the 5-year anniversary, it seems like you're getting your rebirth crystals now as opposed to your 5th year anniversary. So
Yeah, but I did have to pay $350 for them. other than those two,
oh,
which, by the way, I am not a whale. That far exceeds my monthly spending for this game. This is a record for me.
well,
But
How much did you blow on Batgirl?
what's
Yeah.
that?
How much did you blow on Batgirl?
But that was gems.
Yeah, how much
So-
did gems cost you?
I don't know. Some of these, listen, I just did a Raid Shadow Legends thing where I got 306,
Okay.
1,000 for basically 10 minutes of work. So I've been actually really gem rich of late based on some of the, and by the way, for everyone listening outside the United States, I apologize that you guys are at such a ridiculous disadvantage. And by the way, I no longer get Olay deals as a droid, as a member of the droid family. But there are still some play for gem deals that allowed me to get, I had over 500,000 at one point, and now I'm back up to over 400,000.
Nice.
Basically spending next to nothing. I think I spent $30 for the 300,000 gems on that Raid Shadow Legends deal.
so basically what you're telling me is you just bought Reeves and Steve lunch.
I did for this one, because this one they wouldn't allow me to spend my 300,000 gems. They really just said, "Hey, listen, you're going to spend 175 and you're going to love it."
Oh boy. So yeah, get on the bandwagon. I know there's limited time and we hope to have this episode out soon, but if you haven't got your rebirth crystals, you might want to think about landing about, what is it, $24? $24.99 for what, 2 or 3?
3.
Three.
Yeah, okay.
50,
Yep.
50 for 4, and the 100 for 5. So there's
Right.
12 total. But then, by the way, the last pack you can buy 3 times. That's where I draw the line. That I only bought the last pack once.
Yeah.
But there is the opportunity to get an extra 10 rebirth crystals if you have owl eyes and are listening.
Yeah. I wonder if Hate Mail got that.
You know he did.
I'm sure.
Oh, he
I'm
bought
sure
them all.
I'm sure he bought them all. He paid for it with
Yeah.
cryptocurrency, probably.
That and the Spectre and Wonder Girl one.
Yeah. The Spectre was really tempting, but no matter what I did, I couldn't have gotten him high enough to get to RB3, so yeah.
That's where I was. And Wonder Girl, I love Wonder Girl, so I was looking at it, I was doing all the math, and I was like, yeah, no, I can't. The next step doesn't matter.
I can't wait to nerf her rework.
What'd you say?
She's not as prevalent anymore. She's not as
Right.
prevalent anymore.
Yeah, she doesn't.
I actually like her now, with all the Terras out there, to just get rid of the debuff immunity. Like she's very useful. Wonder Girl can still be useful there, and sometimes I even forget to bring her. Like, and you think about her, she was what Spectre is now back in the day.
Yeah.
Like, you brought her no matter what. She was a Swiss Army knife. She did everything. Now you don't think about her as much, and I have her RB3, but
Yeah.
she's still useful.
Oh, I think she is, definitely. I still use her from time to time myself.
I think they still have her tiered at S or A. She's definitely still in there heavy.
I think she is. I think it's just gotten to the point where there's so many, like Spectre is just, he's in every single Like, and it's almost, I saw someone in the Alliance chat talk about this. It's annoying to almost feel as though you have to bring him to combat the other one.
Yeah.
And there are
Mine's,
other options. I'm not saying you
G6 or
don't.
G5.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, mine is at RB3, and I use her quite extensively, actually. But let's go ahead and chat a little bit. You brought it up earlier, Retpmus. You got your RB5 Supergirl, so I'm going to guess that you're not going to play the Supergirl event anymore.
No.
But we are knee-deep in that. And it brings up kind of an interesting question, and Biff was wondering this earlier. What characters do you often use for those 6-day events? I'm talking at, maybe a very high level. Is there a standard team that you guys use to whip through those 6-day events?
I use the same comp every time, but actually it changed a little bit with the Dr. Poison rework from a few months ago. But I like to, PvE is irrelevant. Like it's just how fast can I get through it? There's never a worry about winning. So I look at just monster AoEs.
Yep.
In how I structure that team. So the one I currently use is Gorilla Grodd, Black Flash, Black Adam, and Dr. Poison. And I finished the last node of the Supergirl event today in 11 seconds. And Dr. Poison never got a turn.
Wow.
So I mean, she's like, the fourth slot is largely irrelevant if I look at Grodd, Black Flash, and Black Adam, because they just keep rotating AoEs until everyone's dead very quickly.
That's cool as hell. I'm going to have to try that. I don't have a set team. I always pick a different team every time based on what I think is going to be the case. I'm going to have to start doing that. Retpmus, do you have a go-to team for your 6-day events, or are you kind of like me?
I usually just kind of like how Biff does. I pick the characters that have like massive AoEs, and I'll throw a lot of times I'll throw Darkseid in as lead.
Mm-hmm.
So he'll let everybody do a move twice, and it really wipes everybody out fast.
Yeah, I found that Darkseid plus Supergirl equals win.
Oh yeah, that's what I used. That's exactly what I used.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Joker, what about you, buddy?
Yeah, I have a set team. Steppenwolf, Black Adam, Heatwave, and Owlman. And it just, once the hit goes in and a kill goes, it's really just a bounce between Black Adam and Heatwave, wiping everything out in AoE, 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 and it goes extremely fast.
Wow. I think more surprising is the fact that you pulled Owlman out of mothballs there.
Well, he gets the crit chance up, and, Black Adam loves the crit damage, and it just gets the ball rolling, and he's just standing there through the rest of the battle. Just, that's it. He did his job, done. Black Adam and Heatwave take over.
See, that's why you're you. You come up with all the hard comps, and you get the inside scoop on that stuff. I'm just saying. Anyways, Supergirl event is still going on. If you haven't done so already, get those shards at least one round every day. They're free. They're free 99 free. So get in there and get on the bandwagon. I'm telling you. All right. Next up, since we're talking about events, there's another event that's going on, Black Manta. And I know that Biff really wanted to talk about this one because Black Manta is his boy. So let's hear it, buddy. What do you got to say about Black Manta today?
Black Manta is extremely underrated. And I was, especially with some recent changes and new characters, and with all the men's flying around, he is now back to relevancy. Even if he's a little, he can be a little weak as far as survivability.
Squishy.
I was looking for a rebirth, rework of him,
Mm-hmm.
but now I don't even think he needs it. Like the way he shreds Barda Aquaman teams, with these men's flying around. I mean, he is really a stacker of bleeds. You know, I will have him RB4 in the next 2 weeks,
Holy cow.
which I know will give him the survivability that there's no, you know, that I will not have to worry about him once. I haven't lost him to a Barda Aquaman team, and I have to give the, you know, the disclaimer that generally these men teams are red heavy. Blue heavy, excuse me. And the red is generally Barda. So she doesn't hit. So he is able to survive. But the way he stacks bleeds, and he does turn meter, he does double attacks, he has true sight. When any enemy bleeds, he applies heal immunity, like with his legendary. So, I mean, if you think about just, you know, these kits that we see that are just, that have a lot to them, he had a lot to them before a lot of the ones we're seeing now that have everything, you know.
Yeah.
And he's an underrated character. I think he fell into irrelevancy largely because there's so many great reds that you can't find a spot for him. And I started using him again with Aquaman Barda teams, and it's comical to watch them just kill themselves.
Do you ever use him with King Shark?
I don't use King Shark a lot, so I wouldn't even know the synergy there. Once again, that's another red that, you know, taking a spot. It's hard. Like, it's, you know, now with Manta, with all these, with especially the Atlanta, I'm having a blast with Manta this month. But no, I don't even know what the King Shark has some viability. I don't use them a lot.
Sure. Joker, what do you say about Black Manta? Do you ever use him at all extensively, or is it just kind of a meh?
I use him quite often. I love him. I'm in the same opinion as Biff here. Very, very underrated tune. I still do feel like he does need a rework, a little bit more survivability. He gets hit by a green, he can get plastered. That's about the only aspect of his kit I would want to buff up a bit is give him something, maybe something damage immunity like or whatever, just to make sure he survives a turn.
Yeah.
I do like to use him with King Shark. I love King Shark. He's great for freezing up Aquaman and dropping the turn meter down, because he'll stun him and then take the turn meter down from him. And you can have play with that. With if you have a Black Flash in your team, you're now overriding the whole counter set. You can get those passive attacks in every turn, which are stacking bleeds on top of Black Manta's bleeds, and you'll bleed out a character on their turn completely. There's a lot of fun between the two of them. A lot of good synergy.
Yeah, I always thought so. I like pairing Manta with King Shark. That's
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you go ahead. I'm sorry.
I prefer pairing Manta up with Dr. Poison, though, because there's a lot of Terra out there. And, Dr. Poison creates that opening of you're going to bleed whether you have immunity or not. And that makes Manta completely viable, is when you're going up against Terra and you don't have Dr. Poison in there. Now you got to purge it out before you can start making them bleed. Dr. Poison just goes, you're going to bleed anyway. Now Manta's going to go in, double hit. You're done,
Wow.
That's a really great point, because what I was doing was starting to take Supergirl to try to get rid of the immunity, and I've even forgot that Dr. Poison could. And by the way, but Dr. Poison, she can kill people so quickly. I actually like to see Barda just struggle and be completely overhealed. I like when Barda's completely overhealed and then her turn starts and she dies prior to her turn. Yeah, but that's a good point on Poison.
Well, another one I like pairing him up with is Cersei. She moves in. She's got pretty high speed. She has a AoE that purges off the buffs on the other team right away, so she can get rid of some of those immunities. And in the result of Manta actually dying, he comes back enraged. That basic attack is beautiful anyway. So him just going enraged, basic attacking on bleeding opponents, stack, 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 stack. Him keep coming back into her. Still a lot of fun.
So
Yeah, the bleeds he stacks are crazy. And that brings you, like, if you look at when you think about legendary order on him and you look at it, there are certain ones that look really, really beneficial, but because of how he stacks bleeds, it's not so much. And what I refer to is really his 3. If you look at his legendary on his 3, it says turn all bleeds on target to permanent bleeds.
Mm-hmm.
And when you read that, you're like, wow, that's awesome. But one thing I'll tell you is his 3 is probably his 5th legendary, because the way he stacks bleeds, having them permanent doesn't matter as much as it sounds like it should.
Yeah. Once he's got them stacking, it really doesn't matter because they're going to bleed out and die, and them being permanent. Yeah, exactly. The effect is going to go a lot quicker.
Yeah.
wow.
So, I mean, I have a legendary of 15243. And I can tell you the first 4 are all completely relevant and useful. I would recommend him at L4 or better.
Yeah, okay. See, I've got an L4 Manta, and I put him at L4 before I knew anything about the legendary order, so I am missing the 4th legendary on him. And that sucks.
Well, well, yeah, I mean, but all 4, the 1524 are all really good.
Yeah.
So it's not like I would say that you missed out with 4 over the other 3. It's just 3 is less relevant. And by the way, on paper, I think I probably took 3 second or third when I did it.
Well, that's what
on paper, I'm like, yeah, on paper, it's like, oh, permanent bleeds, awesome.
Yeah.
But the way he stacks, and you talk about Joker saying pair him with Dr. Poison, oh my God, now we have so many more bleeds, and now it's just carnage.
Man alive.
Yeah, personally took him to RB1.
Yep. I have RB2 right now, and he has my next 20 crystals. So he will be RB4 by the end of the Nightmare Challenge.
You're already planning your crystals out.
That's awesome.
Oh, dude, planning my crystals out. That's all I have to do in this game. I have a little cheat sheet.
Do you have like
cheat sheet that has just an order?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You have like a spreadsheet with.
I have a big board. I have every character in the game ranked. It's not even a spreadsheet. It's a nerd sheet. And I have every character in the game ranked. Track.
Nerd.
Yeah, exactly. No, yeah. So it's how I track, because roster building is the only reason I play the game.
Sure.
So, like, I track, like right now I have every character level 70 or above. I have 135, 80 and maxed. Every character in the game L4 or above. Like, so now I'm tracking it. I think I have 30 characters left that are level 70 that aren't level 80. And I have like 10 that aren't finished G11, so I can slowly build them until they get rid of the stupid up and away.
So you're all right. You're up there.
Yeah, I've from a deep roster perspective, I feel as though I'm pretty strong.
I think so too. Holy crap. But very interesting to say the least. I'm a Manta fan too. I like Manta as far as the lore goes. Loved Manta in the Aquaman movie. That was awesome. I mean, what a great character. I mean, he's a pirate, that's what he does. He got himself some tech, and now he rules the sea. If it weren't for that pesky Aquaman, that is. And
he'll kill his kid.
Yeah, that's so fucked up. I wanted to talk a little bit about this, and I'm going to turn this over to Joker because he's probably a little more into the lore than I am on this. But there's a new series coming out on HBO Max, and I'm looking forward to checking it out. It's called Peacemaker, and Joker, I'm going to let you talk a little bit about the lore, and then we'll go into what we expect to see in this show.
Alrighty. Now, Peacemaker's a character that came out in Charlton Comics, and he was later on purchased with the rest of the Charlton Heroes by DC. And people that did not see Suicide Squad, not very familiar with him, I'm pretty sure they've at least seen The Watchmen. And The Watchmen was Alan Moore's take on the Charlton Heroes in a messed up future where everybody ends up dead. Right. And Peacemaker was the inspiration for the comedian character, who was this whacked out, war hungry, crazed nut. And you know, if you've seen Watchmen, you got a good take of who the character is. If you read into the DC Comics or where they took Peacemaker lore-wise, it's a really dark, fucked up, and twisted path. This character, obviously goes around killing people in the name of peace. He's a pacifist, but he'll kill all to have his peace. He's so messed up in the head because his father was a Nazi and did horrible crimes, and he carries that shame around with him, and he's trying to kind of make amends of that. And later on, as you read into the comics, everybody he kills ends up becoming a part of his helmet. Like their spirit is trapped in his helmet, not literally, but in his head. That's the way he sees things, and they speak to him through the helmet. So, wow! I'm looking forward to seeing John Cena play the part some more. Cena, I've never really quite liked as an actor or even as a wrestler. I always saw him as a complete asshole, and Peacemaker is a complete asshole, and it's just such a perfect fit. I'm loving it, and looking forward to the show.
So you said you're looking forward to seeing him, but I heard from a very reliable source you can't see John Cena. So
see, that's funny. I always viewed him as a wrestler is almost like a caricature, almost like not an asshole, like just almost like goofy. So that's interesting that you say that. Like I always looked at him as like kind of like the corny white rapper, vanilla ice wrestler.
Well, you know what?
Versus being a jerk.
Well, I was watching WWE or WF. I was an Undertaker fan. I was into the metal and the dark music and rap, and that style just didn't jive with me. And when John Cena came on the scene, he was a character that annoyed me. And they had him feuding with William Regal, who was this uptight British perfect pomp guy, and he couldn't stand the rap and couldn't stand the character at all, and the generation. I was like, I'm on this guy's side here. I can't stand the fucker. So it's a little more personal. He probably isn't really an asshole. It's just it's not my style.
Yeah, well, I hear you.
So when's the release date? Do you know?
January 13th.
So you think we'll have a DC Legends event for him?
I couldn't answer that.
You can't answer that. You probably could answer that.
Yeah.
The way I put it this way, the design team and everybody, they've really been paying attention to what's coming out in the comics and what's been going on recently, and they've been taking the game along the same lines, with Future State. That was fairly recent in the comics, and fairly recently they introduced Future State characters. Mm-hmm. Yara Flora had an issue 1 come out. I'm sorry, not Yara Flora. Nubia had an issue 1 come out back in November, and along the same lines, here she is. So I think it's safe to say you can put some confidence in their ability to keep up with what's going on.
Gotcha. Thanks for the confirmation. I appreciate it.
That is not a confirmation.
You heard it here first, folks. Atlantis After Dark is breaking news. Oh, boy. We need to have you on more often, Joker.
I'd love to be on. I love this crew. You guys are fun.
Well, we think you're fun. So ipso facto, we're all fun, I guess. I don't know what that means. Anyways, you know, I'm looking forward to checking out the Peacemaker show. I did like him in Suicide Squad. I thought that was a good role for him to play. And I'm with you on the fence there. I don't like John Cena. I don't like a lot of what he does. I don't like him as an actor. I hated him as a wrestler. I just don't like him. There's something about him that just makes you want to smash his face. Maybe that's what makes him such a good Peacemaker. I don't know.
Exactly my point. It's great.
Yeah.
And on top of him, you're going to have Vigilante in there too in the show. Adrian Chase is his teammate, and that was DC's response to the Punisher.
Yeah,
same concept, basically in character. And
I've got a lot of time. I love Vigilante.
I basically, with John Cena as a wrestler, whenever kids, like young kids, scream for wrestlers, I automatically hate them because I don't like when kids scream. So I remember being in high school, and the first time the Undertaker was introduced, and he was introduced to be against Hulk Hogan, and they the mortuary music, and I was in the crowd for like multiple Royal Rumbles where he fought, and they basically turned the AC on to make it cold before he comes out, where it's like all of a sudden becomes 20 degrees in this huge arena. Yeah. I remember seeing this kid crying when the Undertaker and Paul Bearer were coming down the ring. I'm like, oh, this guy's my favorite. If the kids cry, oh my God, I love this. But when John Cena comes down, all the kids go crazy and they won't shut up. And I'm like, oh, yeah, get rid of Cena.
Yeah. By the way, when did this turn into a wrestling podcast? I mean, I'm not upset.
No,
we're missing
sorry.
Zubaz. No. I'm telling you. We could finish out
John Cena. It's the John Cena crossover.
Duh. Oh my God. Well, listen. I mean, The Rock is going to be Black Adam. I think it would be interesting if Peacemaker and Black Adam had a scene together. That'd be kind of fun.
No, Black Adam would just
fry him.
Yeah. Yeah. Much to the delight of me everywhere.
Isn't Batista coming over as Bane or something too? So you're gonna have a third one.
I hadn't heard that.
Yeah, I've been reading. I don't know if it's been confirmed or whatnot. I know he wants to play Bane,
right?
But I don't know if they've actually tapped him for the part, which I'd love because I couldn't stand any of the previous actors that have played Bane.
Yeah. Who was that? Jeep Swenson, who actually was a wrestler too. Don't know if you guys knew that.
Did not.
Yeah. The guy who played Bane.
Does Batista have anything in his contract that he can't do DC versus Marvel?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I think
he's left the Marvel thing with Guardians of the Galaxy. He said this was the last one. He's terminated his contract, and James Gunn, who did Guardians of the Galaxy, did Suicide Squad. So yeah.
Well, the more the merrier. I say let's bring him on. I like Batista.
Yeah,
I do too. He's actually not that bad of an actor. I've seen a few different movies, and he does pretty decent, acting job.
Yeah, better than John Cena.
Oh, definitely, definitely.
I'll break more news. How about the Undertaker as Lobo?
Oh, that would be awesome! You just blew my mind.
I still think that's a miss for Jason Momoa. That should have been him.
Man. So we're now we're casting DC movies. I could get into this.
I love fan casting. I could do that all day.
Maybe we'll set up another show. I know I've been threatening to get Zubaz back on here for our wrestling DCL crossover. He missed his calling today. He should have been on with us. I'm sure he'd have had a lot to say. But yeah. Anyways. Thank you guys for an entertaining show today. We look forward to Peacemaker. We look forward to Black Manta. We look forward to the rest of the Xmas sales. And if you have not done so, get on the bandwagon with that Supergirl event and take heed at the teams that Joker and Biff and Retpmus have all told you to use. I think that's the way to go. Let's think about wrapping this thing up. Retpmus, take us to church, pal.
Well, once again, happy to be here. Glad you could join us, Joker. It was fantastic having you here. Hope you return soon. And I just want to tell everybody out there, I'm hoping everybody has a great holiday and be thankful for their health and everybody's well-being. That's pretty much it for today. Just going with the flow today.
Well, thanks, Retpmus. And we're super glad that you could be with us today. That's all I'm going to say. We're super glad you could be with us today, and we look forward to seeing much more of you in the future. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, Biff, tradition dictates you get to follow that, so go ahead.
Oh, that wasn't so bad. That wasn't like a 3-minute Thanksgiving grace, that makes me feel like an awful human being. So I as well, Retpmus, I'm glad you're here today and feeling well.
Thank you.
I'll just do, a quick plug to Tootytron, one of the members of AAD Alliance, lists that he's been doing for the tier B, tunes and who's going to come out on top. I'm extremely disappointed in all you twats that voted against Black Manta, because I felt he was the class of the tier B, and soon to maybe even move up a tier because of all these fucking men's flying around everywhere. But yeah, there's Black Adam, Constantine, Red Tornado, Deathstroke, Clayface, and World's Greatest Detective left. Get on Reddit, vote on Tootie's list. If we can find a way to revive Black Manta, that'd be great, but I don't think that's in the rules. But anyway, that's it.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Biff. And by the way, I concur, and I want to echo those sentiments. If you haven't done so already, get over to Reddit and vote on Tootie's list. He always does a fantastic job. All right. Lastly, Joker, do you have anything to say to the community? Anything you want to spoil for us?
Well, first of all, thanks for having me on again. It was a pleasure being with you guys. Second off, to the fans and players, everybody out there, I think this month's new characters were absolute shit for Christmas. Yeah, I know there's some Aqua fans out there, and they're happy to have Tula and the Sea Monkey guy. But I think it was a huge letdown, and just to get your hopes up for a Merry Christmas here. January, it's going to be awesome. You're going to love it. Great characters. It's just a great way of starting off the new year. Guaranteed you're all going to love it. So keep the hopes up, keep playing, enjoy it. That's all.
Very cool. Very cool. And by the way, give our love to both Reeves and Steves.
Will do.
Joker, the one positive about a crappy Atlantean month is more use for Black Manta. So
well, I was going to say more cheddar to spend on those Rebirth crystals, because you're not going to waste money on the Atlanteans.
Save some of that for January. You're going to want it.
Yeah, Biff, you blew your wad too soon.
Say, who's the 32nd guy now?
I have a few wads.
You have a few wads left, or you have a few wads?
I have a few wads to spare. I'll be okay.
So does
All
our
right.
problem.
As Andrew Dice Clay said, what are you saving it for? It'll grow back.
Hey, yo!
All right, we're off the rails. It's a good thing, too, because it's almost time to wrap this thing up. So let's do this. We want to thank all of you for taking the time to be with us today. Show us how much you want us by pounding that subscribe button with a sock pickle, and get on our website at atlantisafterdark.com. For Biff, for Retpmus, and the man they call Joker, we'll see you all right here next time for another fantastic episode of Double AD. So long, everybody.
gathered together from the cosmic reaches of the universe. Here in this great hall of justice are the most powerful podcasters ever assembled. Super Male, Biff Man, Witty Amazon, Black Flash, Retpmus, AB, dedicated to fun, entertainment, and quality podcasting everywhere. This is Atlantis After Dark.
Straight from Darkside's boom tube. Double AD.